So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique. Now, we did have some drops go on. I wanted to talk about this before I went into the game. We got rid of Kenyon Drake, suffering $3.6 million in cap penalty this year and $4.4 cap penalty next year, which is going to pretty much, we can't be cutting nobody else. That's for sure, man. We can't be cutting nobody else after taking all of that. After taking all that money issue, we're going to be taking it for the next 2 years. But we got rid of Kenyon Drake, Chris Jones, which is a cornerback, and then Chris Lacey, a wide receiver. Now, I reported that we actually got rid of 7 to drop down to 80. Well, as much as I looked and where I could, do some digging, I could only find these 3 that we cut before we had to play the Patriots this week. So if there was 2 in there that I don't know about, please feel free to let me know. And, then we can kind of make heads or tails out of how in the hell we got down to 80 so quickly, but only 3 guys were reported on being cut before the game. So I want to salute all of y'all for coming in here and checking out what I've got going on here right now. I know it's been a minute since I was actually able to get over here on my own channel and do a show. Probably been about a week or so. But man, after the game we had yesterday, we're going to go into the stats like we always do. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're going to look at this score and then just kind of smirk to ourselves because we utterly dominated the New England Patriots right there in Vegas. Where, I already talked about Nick Mullins getting traded, bro. Nick Mullins was actually the quarterback that I wanted to back up Derek Carr, but I guess we're going to run with Stidham, which I'm going to talk about that as well. Why don't we go ahead and hop on over here to the stats to where we can go over this. Now, you guys know I don't be giving NFL any love. If you know anything about me, I don't be giving the NFL any love. So we go over here to ESPN. Now, I'm going to shift on over here and make sure that we're good. Okay, yeah, we're there now. All right. So I was just kind of looking over it, at first. And, to be honest with you, I could just sit there and just let y'all see the highlights over here on the side. It's not like I'm trying to get paid for any of this. So, you guys can check out the highlights while you hear me talk. Now, we went against, look, one thing that I did recognize, man, they had their first string, offense and defense in there. And if you look over here at us, besides the obvious Tyron Johnson and the Keelan Coles, and the AJ Coles and the Daniel Carlsons, we didn't have any starters in, and we literally went up 10-0 within, I think it was roughly within the first 7 minutes of the game. We were able to get the ball in the end zone, and then we were able to get the ball down the field and kick a field goal. We were up 10-0 in nothing flat against their first string offense and defense. Now, I'm going to go over our stats first. Chase Garbers went 12 of 22 for 141 yards, 6.4 yards per pass. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice for 14 yards with a quarterback rating of 74.2. Jarrett Stidham, 4 of 6, 72 yards at a 12-yard average. He wasn't sacked at all with a rating of 107.6. Now, that's probably the best statistical numbers that he's put up since he's been a Raider. Our leading rusher, look, our run game was non-existent yesterday, but it got the job done. Britton Brown had 11 carries for 28 yards, averaging 2.5 yards a carry with 1 touchdown, 8 being his long. And if you were looking over here in this was the actual play that he scored his touchdown on. literally untouched, running right up behind Colton Miller's side. Austin Walter had 6 carries for 20 yards at an average of 3.3. His long was 5. Zamir White, 5 for 17 yards, an average of 3.4. He was the highest average yard per rush from any of our running backs. He also had 1 touchdown, and his longest was 6 yards. And then Chase Garbers was running for his life back there, man. 8 carries, 17 yards at a 2.1 average. Our receiving, Keelan Cole led the receivers with 3 receptions, 48 yards on 5 targets. 21 was his long, averaging 16 yards per catch. Tyron Johnson, 1 reception for a 45-yard bomb, and he was only targeted once, which I don't understand. When you get somebody who's that explosive, you've got to target him more than once. Jasper Horsted, 2 receptions, 35 yards, 17.5 average. His longest was a 30-yard catch. He was targeted twice. Britton Brown had 3 receptions on 4 targets for 23 yards, 7.7 yards per pass, with 10 being his long. Cole Fotheringham, 1 for 20. DJ Turner, man, I think he needs to get more playing time. He had 1 reception, targeted once for 14 yards. Dylan Stoner targeted 4 times, 2 receptions for 14 yards, 7 yards per average, 8 was his long. Isaiah Zuber, which he had 1 reception on 4 targets, 7 being his longest reception, and of course, you know, that was his only reception. And Austin Walter, 2 for 7 as well. Austin Walter lost a fumble. That was a hell of a hit, by the way, that he took. And he dropped that ball real quick, man. And then Tashawn Bauer recovered a fumble. You know, and then here we go. Darian Butler happened to be our leading tackler on defense. 7 total, 3 solo. Amik Robertson stood out yesterday because I think he's been hearing all the damn talk about how he needs to be cut. 6 total, 5 solo. 1 of those tackles was for a loss, and he hit the quarterback once. Luke Masterson, 6 total, 4 solo. He had 1 pass deflection. Tashawn Bauer, 5 total, 5 solo, bro. All of his tackles were solo tackles. 1 pass deflect, no, that's Sam Webb. 1 tackle for a loss, 2 sacks. Man, that's great, dude. And he hit the quarterback once as well. So, I mean, dude, Sam Webb, 5 for 5, same thing, 1 pass deflection. Bryce Cosby, 5 total, 3 solo. Tay Davis, 4 total, 4 solo. I mean, I got the stats right here in front of y'all if y'all really want to read them out. I'm not going to read them all out. I am going to look over here to New England, and I recognize one of these names. Raekwon McMillan, wasn't he a Raider last year? He had 3 total tackles, 2 of those were solo. He was all over the field. Surprisingly, Jabril Peppers is not starting for the Patriots. I guess he's like 3rd or 4th on that cornerback depth chart. You know, we look at their stats, man, and our defense really did exactly everything they needed to do. Noticing that this big O number 6 right here was the only thing they could get, which means they couldn't even penetrate and get into the end zone. They had to kick field goals. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Raider Nation, man, we've got a lot to be happy about, for real. We've got a lot to be happy about. I want to go over here and get on up into the chat, man, because, you know, when I jump over into that, I can't see the chat at all, bro. You know what I mean? But now I can see it. I can actually pop y'all up here now. Hey, it is good to see every single one of y'all in here. Don't forget, if you haven't already, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for more Las Vegas Raiders content right here on the Raider Critique, where we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. We tell you the truth with intensity. Been here forever, man. So if you guys ain't hopping in here, well then shit. You're probably too busy on everybody else's lives, which I kind of understand because I'd be there too. You know what I mean? I'd be there too. But this is a good problem to have. Everybody on our team, when it comes to everybody that we've seen play, These guys are fighting. Fighting to the point to where our second string and third string are blowing out first string offenses and defenses. Now, let alone the Patriots are not the team that they used to be. But still, that is a huge step, knowing that our second string is just as good and is capable of getting us wins in the clutch against first string offenses and defenses. I can't remember the last time that our second string and our third string looked this good. It's a damn shame that we've even got to get rid of any of these guys. But if we are going to get rid of a few of them, well, I wrote a few down. Yeah, I would like to know, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to put that on screen. I would like to know what's up with Trayvon Mullen too, but I can tell you this, he's already made the team. He's going to be out there week 1 if he's healthy. That's a guarantee. Anybody that we did not see really literally this preseason, you can just go ahead and call that they got the job. You know what I mean? They've got the job. So, and hey, what we've got going on with all these guys fighting, man, these dudes like DJ Turner fighting for a roster spot. These dudes like Masterson fighting for a roster spot, man, and they're balling out. Masterson had a pick yesterday. So, I mean, I'm really liking this. It's a good problem to have. It's a sad thing that we've got to get rid of some of these cats, but if we're going to get rid of a few of these guys, let me hop over here right quick, man. I definitely had a few names that I was looking at. I'm not even going to talk about Alex Leatherwood. I feel like I spend more time talking about Alex Leatherwood than I do talking about Derek Carr, because literally, now that Derek Carr is pretty much off the chopping block and everybody realizes that we're not going to get rid of him, the ones who wanted us to get rid of him, so now we're directing our attention over to Leatherwood, and Leatherwood has been playing like absolute garbage. There's no doubt about that, man. There's no doubt about that. Now, if I'm talking about getting rid of some people, man, Dylan Stoner is the first one that comes to mind. He's been on this team for at least 2 seasons. Hasn't been good enough to really get himself elevated up to the practice squad. You know, he get up from the practice squad. I think we saw him like maybe 1 or 2 games last year, and he still literally is not developing as good as I would like him to, and I'm pretty sure as good as any NFL team would want him to be developing in. So, to me, I think Dylan Stoner has got to go. You know, and even with Amik Robertson doing as well as he did yesterday, sorry, Amik, I think that you have to go. You know, there was a real big, huge push behind Bryce Cosby. You know what I mean? He hasn't really shown me anything this preseason. If anything, he needs to go down to the practice squad. You know, there's a lot of guys in here that, you know, are literally not going to have a job after yesterday's game. I think Kendall Vickers will be cut. Isaiah Brown will be cut. I'm pretty sure Isaiah Zuber will be cut. You know, we have to get down to 53 by next week. So expect a lot of people to get cut. People that probably we're not going to expect. And then other ones that are going to be no-brainers. You know? After seeing, I've been watching the quarterback room really close lately, especially after we traded Nick Mullins. You know, because we got to have some type of viable backup in there. And, you know, we've got Stidham and we've got Garbers. Well, after seeing yesterday Garbers running for his life and whatnot, and him going 12 of 22 for only 141, he's probably going to find himself on the practice squad, and we're going to run with 2 quarterbacks. And that's if we only run with 2 quarterbacks. If we run with 3, then all 3 of these guys are going to be on the team. But I think Stidham did just enough yesterday, even with his whopping 4 for 6 for 72 yards. I think he solidified himself as the legitimate backup to Derek Carr. Another guy, which is also mentioned right here in the chat by Cash Lord Raider, was another dude I was high on, man. Polamalu, man, he's got to be cut. Because his game, from watching, and I've watched, because you guys know I don't watch college, but I went back and I took a look at a lot of his footage, roughly about the last 2 weeks or so. And man, his game's not transitioning into the NFL. It seems like he's gun shy to me, like he's unsure of himself. Unlike the way he played in college, which was reckless abandon, this dude was laying massive hits. You know what I mean? And he was in on every damn play. It's not like that over here, so I have a feeling that he's possibly going to get cut as well. You know, and he probably does. He probably needs another extra year to develop. So, you know, that's another guy that's going to go. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a surprise to anyone. You know, but, you know, what would be a surprise is, you know, say one of these running backs get cut. Now, I know they didn't have a good day yesterday, but I'll tell you what, with a three-headed monster like Britton Brown, Josh Jacobs, and Samir White, I think this running back by committee can literally dominate the NFL to where we can run smash mouth football, old school Raider football, the shit that we used to run. You know what I mean? So that right there, I think it would be a huge mistake to get rid of any of the rookies. You know, Amir Abdullah, I feel, is probably going to be gone after this. I think really relatively the only veterans that we're going to have in the running back room is going to be Josh Jacobs, and it's iffy on even if Brandon Bolden's going to make this team. But like I was saying at the beginning of this live, you know what I mean? If we ain't seen them, more than likely they've made the team, so Brandon Bolden's on this damn team. Are we going to run with 4, 5 running backs? Probably not. You know what I mean? Especially if we do what I expect we're going to do, and that's run with like 6 or 7 wide receivers. You know, and also probably more safeties, you know, because we only got like really 4. What's going on, Herman? It's been a long time since I've seen you, bro. Welcome back. But check it out, man. We're in a real good situation. If our second string, and I've been preaching about this for weeks, every time I jump on a live, every time I jump in somebody else's channel, bro, this is a damn good problem to have. If our second string is playing like this, can you imagine what our first string is going to play like? Our first string must have this shit really down if our second string's got it down. I hope that I'm not getting my hopes up, man, because I don't want our first string to come out there and lay an egg after the superb play that we have seen and the focus that we've seen by our second, third, and fourth string guys right here this preseason. So, for real, man, we whipped their ass 23-6. It might be preseason, but the thing that stands out more about it is that they used starters. We did not. We did not. I'm telling you, hey, just all these assholes can go out here and run around and say how we don't have a defense and how we don't have this and how we don't have that. All these other teams, fans and whatnot, we held them to 6 points. And their first string was in there to get, you know, at least one of those field goals. So, you know, hey, our second string defense is better than New England's first string offense. So what does that got to tell you? Don't listen to all the shade that these fuckers are going to throw, because sooner or later, by the middle of the season, all these assholes are going to be on their knees kissing our fucking feet, and you can bet your ass on that. We're going to dominate this year. We're going to dominate this year. I feel it in my toes. We're going to dominate, and it's going to be absolutely outrageous. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be funny to give all these assholes the Raiders laugh while we walk our happy ass straight to the fucking playoffs. So anyway, that's all I got. I hope all of y'all have enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. You can always find me right here at the Raider Critique. You know what I'm saying? You can also find me on Twitter, which is listed right down here as well, at InGun421. On Instagram, I'm at The Raider Critique. And then also on Facebook, you know, you can find me there too. You'll find me under my government name. You know what I'm saying? But you'll see the same picture, so you know it's me. But I don't really talk to nobody on Facebook, really, man, because I use that mostly for family. And also, I get a lot of bots and shit over there, and a lot of scammers who be trying to hit me up. So I don't be trying to go to Facebook too often, man, because I don't know who the fuck's real and who's not. If I see you guys in these chats, and trust me, I am in a lot of these live chats, and I see your name on Instagram, or I see your name on Twitter, and I see your photo, I can verify it's you, so I'll add you, I'll follow you, you know what I mean? But like normally, bro, I don't really mess around with that because there are so many scammers and bots out there now. You just don't know who you can trust, and you don't really know on if people who they are, on what they or who they say they are. You know what I'm saying? So the struggle is real when it comes to social media. That's for damn sure. And it's trying to weed through all the fake ones to get to you real ones has been quite a task. But hey, I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. And I'm gonna start doing more of a consistent basis, kind of like a Raiders fan radio where they come on every Wednesday. I'm gonna be shooting for Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's when I'm gonna start doing the actual shows for the pre-games and the post-game reviews. And I really have a hard time trying to set something like that, for the simple fact that everything is really spontaneous when it comes to the Raiders, especially with this new front office who is completely unpredictable and we can't figure out their next move. But I do want to try to get more of a consistent show, a consistent timing schedule going on to where people can actually come in and interact. You know what I mean? And I'm not stomping on anybody's toes going live when somebody else is live. You know what I mean? Now also, I finally got my patches in from Raider Vic, the bad guy in Georgia. Now he is a Raider brother just like us. As you can see, it is an iron-on /sew-on patch that you can put on your jerseys. You can put on your jackets. You can put them on your hoodies. You can pretty much put them anywhere Raider affiliated, and it would be badass. Hell, what my homeboy does is he puts Velcro on the back of these, and then he'll hang them up in his car. You know what I mean? On the roof of his car, up in his carpet and shit like that. It looks badass. I'm not going to lie. He's got a shit ton of patches. You know what I mean? And, the idea of getting these patches, which was, it's not to sell them. It's just basically to get it out there and, to get, to get some support out there, because with all the bots and all the fake people out there, I would like to know that there's some real people out there too who wouldn't mind sporting some of Digital Prez's artwork with Vic, the bad guy's absolute artistic nature in making these patches from a real Raider fan who has been here since day one, baby, and I ain't going nowhere else. But I do appreciate every single one of y'all. If you guys do want one of these, please, I'm going to go ahead and start selling them for $5 a piece if you want to buy one. But I also want to start giving them away for subscriber counts to this channel, which will also get you in a drawing if you can win one of these as on a subscriber count during a raffle. It will get you in for one of these Raider coins that cost me a shit ton to send because they're so heavy. I still got to get NorCal his. As a matter of fact, I'm putting that thing in the mail on Monday, so expect it, USPS, roughly about 4 days from Monday. So NorCal, if you're in here, bro, expect your coin. And also, I'm going to send you one of these patches as well, bro. Just for all of your continued support, and also for getting that trivia question right on Dirty Raiders channel, bro. So I owe you that. So anyway, I'm the Raider Critique. This is where we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid, baby, and we tell you the truth with intensity. You're not going to get no rumor mills around here. You're not going to get no bullshit out of me. I'm always going to be 100 with you because I expect all y'all to always be 100 with me, man. It's all about integrity, character, loyalty, family, and the Raiders, baby, and that's what we stand for. So anyway, go ahead and go get your shit going on, man. Go have yourself a beer. It's a wonderful Saturday. We are victorious. We're 4-0 through the preseason, and we get the motherfucking chokers next week with Khalil Mack, Bosa, and I think that their fucking number one cornerback over there is fucking hurt now. So, yeah, have fun trying to guard all of those wide receivers and tight ends we have with that awesome quarterback who's got a hell of an arm and a confidence level that is now through the roof. Have fun. We're about to Peter roll the shit out of every team that we play. And I can pretty much call it right now. We got the Chargers. They're going to suffer an L. The fucking Cardinals, no Hopkins. They're going to suffer an L. The Titans, we're going to wipe the floor with them. All they got's Henry. You know what I mean? The Broncos is going to be our real first test. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? By week 4, we're going to get our first real test, but I think we're going to walk through the Chargers. I think we're going to walk through the Cardinals, and we're going to definitely walk through the Titans. So, anyway, don't forget, just come on over here every Thursday about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the pregame and the postgame review. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll probably do the pregame on Wednesday, and then on the postgame, it'll be Monday morning. So those are going to be the timing schedules that I'm really literally working with here, man. So it'll probably be, I'd say Thursday, 7 p.m. And then on Monday, we'll go, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. But let me go ahead and get around all these other content creators, find out when they're going live, what days they mess with, and you know what I mean? Like what days they be pulling off on. And, I will match the minds accordingly to where I can get a permanent timing schedule for this show. So anyway, this is the Raider Critique, man. I'm signing out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's Raider Nation for life. We're about to dominate this year.